Hi, Sergej.
How's it going?
I know that you have some information, and I see you also make a rebranding design on your t-shirt. Can you tell me about it? What is this Fusion Plus? What is this?
Yes, thanks. So we released a couple of days ago our white paper for cross-chain swaps. We use special approach, what no one ever used before. We are pioneering cross-chain atomic swaps intent-based. So that means user don't think how they need to bridge or swap assets cross-chain. They just declare a will, decide an order, off-chain order, what they want to exchange or what asset on what chain. And our network of professional market makers, liquidity providers, take care how to execute this. So seamless experience, next step forward for Web3 in general. It feels like landing on the moon with this technology. So it's a really huge step for this industry from my point of view.
So right now you're trying to unify liquidity, right? And you get some innovations in the space. So you call it atomic swap. Can you tell a little bit more why you call it atomic swap and what does it mean?
So yeah, bringing all the liquidity together makes sense. If you take a look on the analytics, 80 billions of US dollars are distributed across different networks. Yeah, and we try, of course, to combine all the liquidity to provide the best execution. So about the technology, we use atomic swap approach, what was mentioned in 2012 on Bitcoin Talk from one guy who just suggested to implement hash locks to offer a really seamless experience in terms of security. A user don't need to trust anyone or a messaging protocol or a set of validators. They just verify that they got on a destination chain the assets allocated for his wallet in the escrow, and as soon as he share the secret, he got these assets. And this is just simple approach. I don't really understand why no one implemented this yet.
What do you think? How is it important, like decentralization, when we talk about the unified liquidity?
In terms of decentralization, I would say it's important to have a competition, especially for swaps. When someone swaps at 1 inch cross-chain or it's just through normal fusion, there's a huge competition between market makers who try to take first, to earn at least a little bit. Also, if market maker earn $1, they already try to fill the order. This is very important. To the other side, to the dark side, I would say, messaging protocols. They are validators who try to validate their consensus and have some stakes, secure with own assets, their own validator, and there's their own consensus, and they try to do something what is not in the interest of the user actually. It's only interest of the validators to earn money by validating. But resolvers at 1 inch, they compete with each other to make money from it by competing. And through competition, everyone knows user get the best execution.
There's a lot of players in this space right now who are looking for resolvers, for auction, for all of this. What do you think? Will be some kind of unified auction for different projects, or each project will independently compete with their own pools?
So based on my experience, just take Uniswap. Uniswap built Uniswap X, mention us as in a white paper of Uniswap X with 1 inch fusion as a technology. Why they have built Uniswap X is not clear for me. From other side, I can guess they just don't want to follow pioneers with a great technology and just want to build own technology to be self-pioneer. So everyone wants to be the first pioneer and innovator who get the all benefits, from being first. So I think everyone will build own technology and copy paste from everyone else. It's what I have seen from 2019. People copied our smart contract for aggregation, and people take our ideas and also use our approaches in terms of intent-based protocols and also cross-chain swaps. I'm pretty sure someone will come with atomic swap soon.
What do you think about liquidity for resolvers? Because resolvers, they need to operate with their own liquidity, and if we talk about different chains, maybe like 20 or 50 chains, it's quite hard for resolvers to enter there. So what do you think about it? Is it next challenges, or maybe you have already some vision for this?
Yeah, this is a huge problem for resolvers, but not for the users. Users don't care. So users are okay if one big Wintermute comes and try to fill everything. For users, it's okay. There's maybe 2 or 3 more in resolvers who also compete with Wintermute. It's fine for the user. But for the resolvers, it's a pain. It's not super capital efficient to have multiple assets and multiple chains at the same time. Of course, it makes sense plans to build maybe on top of it. It's an additional opportunity now for someone to build kind of money market where resolver can shortly take a loan for maybe a couple of hours of shitcoin and sell it to the user, and then get this shitcoin somewhere from centralized exchange and pay the loan back. There are different rebalancing strategies. Some resolvers just work with one asset, for example USDC. They just buy with USDC asset what they sell to the user and hedge on other chain also with USDC buying the same asset and rebalance it. We see opportunity to improve the space, but I already said if you are user-centric product, it's actually not a problem for the user-centric project, not for the user itself, but for the resolvers.
What do you think? Are we staying right now in front of the door of mass adoption, or it will take a longer time?
It feels like back into the early days with internet. We had talk shows, people were speaking about, oh, what is internet? Who needs this shit? So it's the same here. No one really understands that soon you will have also stocks trading on blockchain. And this is more efficient. You need to think about TradeFi like they were not able to build something better because they had not the right tools. They got internet, they got kind of Web2 tech. They start to move from paper to really informational system, databases and APIs for the exchanges, so the exchanges can work with each other. But this is the next evolution step. It's not a revolution, it's evolution, not just only finance, also gamification of things, like we see already games who are in Web3, right? And there are also assets. You get an NFT with a monster, what you can sell because it's a rare monster. Lunium, for example, there are really good use cases for mass adoption, but we are not super far, I would say, and we need a little bit of time for us.
Sergej, does it mean that 1inch will soon introduce like a cash flow for traditional market? Is a target?
I would love to. It's one of our goals to introduce highly regulated platform in non-custodial manner for retail users, yes, worldwide.
Wow.
It's our goal. It takes time. We are working very hard since 2 years on that, and we had success already in a couple of countries. We're speaking with regulators. It's coming, yeah.
Wow, that's nice. We in Kinetics right now building the money market for the resolvers. We also know that it's like a huge problem which we need to be solved, and probably it will be one of the steps which can also get introduced to the traditional market. And if you're especially focusing on the cash flow for the traditional markets, it's really good innovation.
Yeah.
And do you plans to make any KYC, also some kind of technology for the market?
The thing is, to introduce such a fully regulated environment in a non-custodial manner, you need also to introduce standards of world standards of compliance. That means also KYC. We are working on that course. I think there's a place for 1inch ID where everyone can manage own compliance things. Like if you do KYC, then you get maybe NFT, and then you need to provide utility bills to get maybe access to future products, what will come as well from other people. They need to verify that the user is really living in Germany, for example, not in Iran or in North Korea, right? This is important in our industry that we keep everything compliant and safe.
That's super cool. We will follow all the news and innovation from the 1inch as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.